CA! Please! Please! Alright, for those of you wondering why I'm lamenting, do you remember how long it took me to get all my mods updated whenever they rolled out the latest DLC? And don't get me wrong, the latest DLC and patch was fantastic. It was worth the wait. But then I had to wait all that time to get my mods fixed so I can play the Chaos campaign. And guess what? They're putting out another patch. It's going to screw up all the mods. So, despite the fact that today is the embargo lift for Total War 3 Kingdoms, I am giving you Archaon the Everchosen, and I will play 3 Kingdoms later tonight on a stream. Because we got to get in another Archaon before I have to wait a whole bunch of time to see if the mods get updated again. I hope the modders aren't too put out. And honestly, I mean, I'm glad that they're putting some bug fixes in on the patch, but the balancing changes they're doing, I'm not really a fan of. I can't honestly think of one in there that I was particularly excited about. I think that they're hurting the High Elves unnecessarily with the change to the healing and some of the other factions. And I mean, an Amethyst Wizard for the Empire will be kind of cool, but it's a big annoyance right now, and I wish they would have just added it in previously. Anyway, I think, oh, okay, there was one change in the patch that's coming up that I'm excited about, and it was the Doom Flayers having a reduction in mass and, like, armor, or whatever else it was. That's fine. Doom Flayers were probably just a touch too strong. Tone them back a little bit. Fine with that. But, CA, please. They caved into the pressure. Ever since the DLC released, people have been whining about all the units. And there that did I anyway. Alright, I'm done. Seriously. Welcome back to the episode. Sometimes I just gotta get the salt out up front, people. You know, I'm an old heir, so I gotta get the salt out. Anyway, let's hit some of the top comments from the last episode. So Jacob Benedict says, after Archaon solo, definitely want to see the supersized Chaos versus Dark Elves. So that was the everybody asking me to go camp next to as many Dark Elf stacks as I can, kick off a war, and have a massive battle. Got it. I can do that for you. And Sanks also basically asked for the same thing. He had another top comment. Daddy Pudding is quoting me as having said, "This is my narration, so just deal with it." I did indeed say that, folks. He says, "Wow, that's the most aggressive thing I've ever heard Air say. Looks like hanging out with the Everchosen is having an effect." You could say, chaos is in the air. Huh? Oh, that's right, you like it. You like the lame jokes. Hey, just, come on. It's lame jokes, just deal with it. Oh, there I go again. Alright, so Darkomon, Air thanks us. He says, no thank you for being the bringer of the apocalypse. And he says, I know I'm amazing for being here. Without me, this would barely be a disaster, let alone an apocalypse. Darko, man. I love it, man. Thanks. And then Soviet Cannon Fodder asked, does anybody know what happened to the Chaos Tweaks mod? I do not. It may not have ever updated, or, I mean, honestly, some of these people may just get frustrated at dealing with updates and stuff, so they may take the mods down. Though occasionally some people will take an old mod that never got updated, and they will re-upload it with an update to keep it going, so kind of just depends. In any case, let's jump into the episode. We had wrecked Galbraz with Archaon. We still need to take care of Agrul Migdal. Oh man, you guys don't even know how wonderfully easy all these crazy fantasy Warhammer names are to say after trying to pronounce all that Han Chinese, or Han era Chinese stuff. Oh boy, it's hard. It's difficult. I guess unless you are Chinese, and then it's probably easy. But for me, it's difficult. It's fun, but it's difficult. Anyway, looks like the Blood River Valley is in pretty serious trouble, and Barak Varr is under siege. I'm probably sieging it with Sigvald, though. I am. I need to finish getting my towers ready, so let's continue that siege. I think we can end a turn, because this is, yeah, that's just Appius. And we do have Patchy the Eversalt. Let's put him into an encampment. And might as well finish building the lightning grounds. Now we can end the turn. Look at that, 268 turns. Yes! Fight, 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 fight. This is what I'm talking about. I love it when the AI comes and fights me in big battles. I said CA please at the beginning because I was tormenting them for not doing things I want. CA please, more of this. This is fantastic. Stop making the AI run away from fights. Big fights. Even if they're going to lose, big fights. Ah, it's going to be great. I'm so excited. So we've got Thorgrim and Grombrindal and their master engineer facing off against Prince Sigvald and Patchy the Eversalt, the chaos avatar of air, which would be me. That's weird introducing myself like that. Boy, man, he is loaded. Look at this. Anyway, let's get into the fight. Prince Sigvald stands ready to strike down Thorgrim and Grombrindal, the insane white dwarf. And he is absolutely insane. And Sigvald apparently has a cloaking device, too. That's what that cloak is. Yes, the weather's quite appropriate for a dwarf beatdown, I suppose. I don't know why snow is so appropriate, but it just is. Take my word for it. Let's check out some of these self-urinating Dawies. Self-urinating air? What were you going for there? Fear-induced urinating, I think, is probably what my mind had. Don't really know what came out of my mouth. Let's take a look at them. Oh yeah, if they weren't afraid, they're gonna be. And you know what? Those Slayers are probably happy. I'm helping them live up to their oaths. They're gonna die in battle. They just won't take down as many enemies as they had hoped. Let's watch the gruesome Hell Cannon volleys. A triple Hell Cannon volley. Rip. I'm not even manually targeting these either. I almost feel bad for these poor dwarves. My Hell Cannons fire so quickly too that I actually have to click a target while the shots are still in the air, or else they'll fire at another one. So I'm going to try and spread out a bunch of damage all across these filthy dwarves, and they are taking tremendous damage each time there's a hit with the Hell Cannon. Oh man, 3K looks so good, but it's just going to be hard to beat this kind of thing. I mean, how do you expect a game to pull that off? Just look at the brutal salvos coming out of this thing. I love it. Fantasy Total War forever, folks. We'll enjoy the historical ones, don't get me wrong, but oh man, I'm a fantasy fanboy from here on out. That Hell Cannon barrage, though. You can see that I've got Patchy back there on his dragon with the Kentucky Friar and others. It's this Chaos Sorcerer, yeah, Kentucky Friar, that's Patchy. And then we got Jorhul, who is Sigvald's Polisher. There's Grombrindal, the insane white dwarf. Gonna use a smoke bomb, which kind of sucks because Patchy gets caught. And Patchy was a little bit angry at getting slowed down by Grombrindal, so he decides to give the dwarves a little present. A thank you gift, you know, for sharing their smoke bomb, so I'm gonna share something with them. Pretty sure I'll get the last laugh. I traded a smoke bomb for a purple sun, so fine with me. Good trade. Sigvald is out here just 1v1ing these hammers. His mirror guard's gonna come and join in. And then I've got my infantry and monsters and everything else just screaming into battle here. The dwarf infantry is going to be extremely stout. Extremely stout. And they're going to have iron breakers backing them up. Now, I took my dragons and my manticore and immediately laid waste to their artillery so we could take it out of commission. And my cavalry has swung around the flank and will now be coming in to take care of some skirmishers and other units that are here. Look at this, man. The Hell Cannons are just raining absolute terror all over the battlefield. Iron breakers and thunderers adding to the scene. And it is a beautiful scene of chaos. Pure and utter chaos. There's a blob of dwarf skirmishers over here. You know how my monsters like dwarf blobs. Just more beards and a whole lot faster. So the rangers with great weapons are going to be felled. And over here, Crush Skull has engaged the enemies. He will eventually be going after Thorgrim. He wants to add another skull to his list of legendary lords. And then kind of over here in the background, my chariots and cavalry have engaged some iron breakers and longbeards. And they are slicing their way through. See Patchy taking back to the skies. looking for more targets. Crush Skull coming after his prey. Woo! It's gonna hurt, Thorgrim. You're gonna feel it. Now, Thorgrim, though, has all of his legendary items. He's going to be insanely tough. He's 146 armor. His leadership is off the charts. He also has armor piercing and anti-large damage because of different effects in the battlefield there. So Thorgrim, though, getting attacked by Crush Skull, surprisingly resistant. He's probably got some ward saves and stuff. Let's check out what he's got. So bear in mind that he has 20% physical resistance and a 15% ward save. And look at the damage that Crush Skull is still dishing out. Get him, Crush Skull. Get him. Yeah, the damage on Thorgrim is gonna go up, I think, later on too, as his ability. Actually, I think his ability only comes into effect if his leadership gets too low. There it goes. Yeah, his leadership must be down. Yeah, it's down. So his ability, he gets stronger as his leadership gets low, I believe, which is kind of a strange thing. Kind of a strange thing indeed. So you can see the infantry fight. I've got everybody totally surrounded. I want you all to catch Crush Skull fighting down Thorgrim here, and to see Patchy the Eversalt in the background, along with the Kentucky Friar and Jorhul. Oh, this is going to be a grudging, folks. There will be grudges. But they're going to have to come pick up the Book of Grudges off the battlefield in order to recall those grudges. I'm actually just blown away by the amount of punishment that Thorgrim took from Crush Skull. Not many people can do this, so I've got respect for the filthy stunty, if nothing else, for standing his ground and fighting, and honestly fighting rather respectably here. He is shrugging off a tremendous amount of damage, but he can only shrug off so much. And folks, that is the final resting place of the Book of Grudges, spattered with the blood of the Dwarf King, the High King. Look at the damage done to Crush Skull. Thorgrim really put up a fight, but Crush Skull now has another one to add to his collection. There were reinforcements coming in, and you can see that there was several artillery units in the background, as well as a whole bunch of Iron Drakes. And these Iron Drakes are being assailed by my cavalry, and my flying units went to take out the artillery. We're not going to let these Trollhammer torpedoes or flamethrowers do what they need to do. Going to immediately shut those things down, and that is going to be the end of an epic battle against Thorgrim and Grombrindal. Let's be honest, we come to this campaign for epic, amazing, awesome, thematic battles. And how did you like this? Crush Skull duking it out with Thorgrim. Who would have thought that he would have come with all that anti-large? But there's Thorgrim. Quite the fight between a giant and someone who thinks he's a giant. Two very different things, by the way. Two very different things. So Thorgrim and Grombrindal are defeated massively, and we're going to sacrifice them to the dark gods. The unfortunate thing, but I know how to fix it, is that there's still going to be enough reinforcements in there to be a pain. Alright, so we have ended a turn, and look at this. We've picked up Beardhammer on Sigvald, so he causes terror when fighting against the dwarves. Won't do a whole lot of good, to be honest. Because, yeah, defeating dwarves with terror is exceedingly difficult to do because of their little amazing stunty leadership that's just like never break. Did it undo my siege, or is it just allowing me to replenish while I'm sieging because of the level of chaos? Well, heck, look at that! It's letting me replenish while I'm sieging, I guess, because the level of chaos is so high already here. So that's fantastic. So I don't have to worry about the dwarves having leftover units. It's not a big deal. Problem solved. See, I told you I could solve it. I just didn't know how easy it would be. Look at that, Sigvald with 81 charge on foot, and that's without the crazy potion thing that he has. So Kolak and Felman need to speed towards the next Dawi target. here in the mountains, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep these guys within range of each other. The Skaven Rebellion. The dwarves deserve this. They utterly and absolutely deserve this, but it also probably means that Iron Rock and these other ones are Skaven settlements, so we'll have to root out Clan Moors so that they don't get in behind me. I can't believe the dwarves were holed up with disgusting, filthy Skaven. Unbelievable what these dwarves will stoop to. I mean, that is low. I'm going to go ahead and, let's see. Yeah, we got to be at tier 3 to do this next one. I only need 1 population surplus to build it, and I only need 2 for this. I don't really want to wait around, though. I really want to destroy the Oak of Ages before someone, 1, beats me to it, or the elves come up with more reinforcements. So, folks, it's time to burn down the Oak. It's time to burn the Oak. That's what we came into the forest to do, and that's what we're going to accomplish here. Gotta see if I can move up into reinforcement range here. Gotta watch where you click. Gets a little crazy. So, Dulas, the Way Watcher, and his band is all that's here to defend. I say all. They have 2 ancient tree men and 6 treekin and a whole bunch of annoying cavalry, but we'll take these guys down. The Oak of Ages. The great tree. The heart of Athelloren. And it's going to be assaulted and potentially charcoaled. This time not by a warp nuke, but by the pure evil of chaos. Evil? Who says they're evil? Wait, I just said they're evil. I guess evil is just a point of view here, though, right? Look at the elves proudly defending their forest home. Will they be able to defend it, though, is the question. And I think you all know the answer. There's a lot of treekin and ancient tree men, but on the flip side, they're up against the halberds of chaos. Their immense armor, a giant, dragon ogre, cavalry, dragons. Yes. The Wood Elf cavalry, although it is great light cavalry, is up against great heavy cavalry. So they will struggle with that. Kevin, he's still at it, taking down treekin. You can see here that Terhilius has a nice pit of shades, and then Vardek is going to come crashing in to help finish off these Wood Elves. Look at them all pulled into that pit of shades. Beautiful casting there by Terhilius. And the battle is well and truly in full swing. A few of my reinforcement units have started to arrive. It's more cavalry, and I have more infantry along the way too. It's just that they're a bit slower to arrive. You can see them coming in from the back of the map. So at this point, the Wood Elves just cannot hold. There's not enough. You can see the stones falling from the sky at the summoning of the Chaos Lords. The treekin being chopped down, and the ancient tree man in a head-to-head with the Chaos Giant. Folks, we bring you epic battles in this campaign. I love it. So many different factions, so many different monsters. It's great. Just absolutely loves this stuff. See, I can see my Manticore here, Romulus, Remus, Terhilius. They're all going to be chasing off all these trees that are being followed, and there's no escape. No escape whatsoever. The elves are in full retreat, and their precious Oak of Ages is soon to be burned. There's a sight for you. A Chaos Manticore swooping past the oak. Maybe Durthu should have stuck to his roots, and then the tree wouldn't have been lost. Oh, wait, I got another one. Maybe if Durthu hadn't branched out away from the tree. Oh, oh, okay, alright, I'm done. Seriously, though. Durthu, way to go. You know, they left the defense of Athelloren to you, and you don't even leave me any loot. Golly, man. What's it take? The Oak of Ages is once again burned, folks. That's twice pretty recently in air campaigns. So we need to just finish off these wooded elves and be done with them. And hey, I'm gonna wait one turn to replenish my troops here, and then we'll slaughter those who are defending Barak Varr. And we are ready to head into the mountains. Let's see, I can't use Appius's movement, or his skill point. So we can skip that, but I can take Archaon and push ahead out here. These dwarves are going to run from me, and I'll suffer some attrition potentially here in the Badlands, but we'll be okay. Elvis, the blind swordsman. He may be blind, but he knows where his sword should land, and he is doing quite well for himself. Vardek levels up as well. Let's see, he is immortal. It looks like we'd begun hard to hit. Continue that with him. Ooh, looks like some stunties tried to flee before Archaon. Bit of a mistake there, stunties. Now you find yourself dead. And another bunch of stunties attempting to flee. Once again, quite the mistake. Alright. Some enemies were killed in battle. The Oak of Ages died in battle as well. And I think we need to finish off the trees. I think the trees definitely need finished. Once and for all. Let's encircle. Then we'll bring up Vardek with his beautiful deep voice. Alright, so the crag halls of Findle are now just the crap halls. Yeah, we got more loot out of that than we did your crappy precious oak. Get your oak out of here. Wow, we took a lot of losses in that auto-resolve. They could try and counter-punch me here, but I still think we could survive it. Yeah, we'll be okay. Alright, let's level up Terhilius. Looks like he has pretty much finished all of his magic, except for just a couple. Let's go ahead and stick him on a Manticore. He deserves it. So Terhilius now flies around while narrating. He's got to stay close to his lord. And then the Burninator is gaining levels now relatively quickly. Let's do Dominating Presence, and then we'll help start to buff up his chosen warriors so that they will be more effective in battle. There we are, back to Appius every time. Archaon is level 56. Talk about frightening, folks. Right, Agrul Migdal is close to falling. And then that leaves us here. Karak Drun is under siege by a Skaven rebellion. That's feels bad, doesn't it, dwarves? I can't actually reach it this turn, so we'll have to reach it on a different turn. And let's see here, Basornling gains himself a level. Let's finish Devastating Charge. And I'm pretty sure that's the same one. Or actually, you know how we can tell this? To make sure we're not forgetting anything, we just go on this screen. So Sextus doesn't have a whole lot of stuff to level up. Can't upgrade Appius. And then Nappa. Alright, Nappa. Let's start working on hard to hit. Alright. The Wood Elves are going to get run over like a truck by Morathi. And I'm going to let that happen. I no longer have any interest in the forest. I've burned the Oak of Ages. I want to get back down here and focus on the Dawi. And you can see that they are regrouping at Karak Izor. And I'd like to stop that. So I'm going to get encamped, get my troops ready, and we'll face the dwarves at Karak Izor. At this point, the dwarves are ripe, and ripe with the stench of failure here at Barak Varr. Loot and raise that settlement. And let's take Sigvald into an encamped stance. And let's hold that stance with Patchy, who managed to lose a whole bunch of Forsaken, including the Demon Spew, unfortunately. So, I'm just gonna have to re-recruit the ones that I have for now because the Demon Spew can't recruit regiments renowned. Yeah, the Demon Spew will not be available, so I'll just replace the units I have. And let's head in here. Patchy the Eversalt. He has his dragon. He has all of his death magic, other than maybe a final upgrade on Spirit Leech. If you look at this, though, we haven't really buffed up any of the units we need to here, so let's do that with the Eversalt. And then the Kentucky Friar, his loyal companion, making sure that Chaos's 11 herbs and spices are sprinkled all about the world. Let's give him some specialist. And let's head in here. I can skip Appius. Sigvald is now level 41. This guy is absurd right now. He's absurd. 81 charge. Why not more melee attack? How about 104 melee attack with magic? It's beautiful. It's really a beautiful thing. Okay. Nothing else left to do here then, other than to head down to Archaon's position. And he can siege Agruel Migdal. And actually no need to siege. He can simply wipe it out. We're now over 2 million dark favor. Whoops. Ooh, man, we are laying up a stash the likes of which the Chaos Gods never could have imagined on their wildest dreams. Look at Archaon's stats, man. It's absolutely absurd. Like, through the roof absurd. I think the only other thing I really want to do is probably to just get Lightning Strike. I've got the 2 or 3 points left. Lord not moved. Ah, Ingerson. What happened to the Skaven Rebellion? What happened to the Skaven Rebellion? I'm so confused. Let's move Kolek up here. Beard Collector. This is good. We like having a beard collector. I mean, I don't know why you'd want those things. They're all full of lice, and they reek of ale. But, whatever. We'll collect beards. Nonetheless, what do you all do with your beard collection, you know? How do you like to keep it? Boy, Kolek is completely out of control as well, in a great way for me. Not so much for my enemies, but... Alright, I need these 2 armies to replenish. Which makes me wonder whether, yeah, we can get this done now at the Ruinous Altar. Perfect. It is beautiful, Sigvald. It is. I like to think that, you know, I'm somewhat of an artist in this regard. An artist of the apocalypse.
Attack!
Alright, Doc Kraz, down. So the dwarf territory thins further. I don't know if the dwarves have settled out here, but I have to assume it's probably Skaven. Not 100% certain. So I think I'm gonna beeline it north and see if we can get into the Badlands here. The number of settlements the dwarves retain at this point is quite low. Quite low indeed. And I'm not worried about their Skaven allies at this point. Though, I'm not going to lie, it would feel pretty good to purge them. Just for such an unholy alliance having been forged in the first place. And this is going to be a bit of a shorter episode. Because I just don't have time to record more tonight. I don't know, part of me wants to just continue on here. This may be the final episode, honestly. There's not a whole lot of dwarf settlements left. Oh, well, we have to come back for a final episode for the other things anyway. So yeah, I might as well cut it off for tonight. I'm going to cut it off for tonight. And we will come back when we are ready to finish. Hope you all have enjoyed it. We're just sitting here ready to end a turn. And I think we can finish the dwarves next time. And if we do, we'll get focused on our last objectives, which is to see if we can find that big fight with the Dark Elves. Their armies are spread out all over the place at this point. There's several right back here. I mean, if nothing less, we can just betray Morathi, kill her on the last turn, just for the sake of, and then let Archaon attempt to solo an enemy army. Should be pretty fun. In any case, I will see you all next time with some more Archaon, the Ever-Chosen campaign. Hopefully they'll get our mods taken care of. If there's a while in between these, I'm just waiting on the mods, folks. That's all I'm waiting on. Hope you enjoyed it. HeirofCarthage, signing out.